a countdown, so you can schedule it, and it'll also put it.
Okay. All right. We are now live.
Oh shit.
No, we're good. So it's going to take me just a minute to get started because I'm going to go in and share the shit out of it.
You want to do the same?
Yes. Real quick. Just want to let you know. Since at the start of my podcast, I always do two things. The first thing is I don't talk politics and religion on the podcast, just to keep it mutual and everything. And also, if anybody hasn't told you that they're excited to see you today, just know that I am.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, brother.
Cheers, man.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning. Thank y'all for tuning in to Pacos Chingasos, and thank you for being here, Gabe. Let me get shared up. We're gonna get this shared, and then if you're watching and tuning in, share it and just keep this good thing going. We're gonna have a good time. And there we are. News feed. I'm gonna share it to two places.
How am I not subscribed, man? I feel like a dickhead.
Oh, it's all good, brother. I'm still new, and so getting people around to subscribe. It's crazy because I actually did the West Texas Expo not too long ago.
Yeah, I saw that. That was actually really cool.
Dude, it was so fun. The shitty part is I did it all with my phone, but I couldn't go live on Facebook to bring the footage to anybody. And so it was just I had to release it on my personal page and then download all the videos and release them on my Facebook page. I'm also going to release them on the YouTube page, but I just got to put my stamp on them first before I do that. But other than that, man, great times. Great time with everybody. It says create an event. There it is. And to everybody who's watching, thank you. Let me know in the comments if I have good audio while I get all this ready to go. And thank y'all for tuning in. And yeah, let's get it. All right.
So we've got two people watching.
So thank y'all for the two people that are watching. Thank you for tuning in to the Chingasos.
We've got two people into the Chingasos.
Yeah. Come on, man. Be cool. I apologize to everybody who's watching, and I'm taking forever. Anthony, thank you for the update. He says we're good on the audio.
Sweet.
So, all right, buddy. Before I get into these questions, I would like to ask you to just to the people who are watching, just to tell a little bit about yourself, and then I'll jump right into these questions.
Well, my name is Gabriel Spencer. I was born here in Amarillo, Texas, and I've been in a couple of bands. Had some venues that I used to run here in town. I think the first time we opened a venue, I was 17. It was a venue over off of 4th Street called the Horseshoe.
Oh, okay.
It was with a friend of mine named Corn. Ryan, he's a crazy dude who lives in New York now. But
fuck yeah.
We started that venue, and it was pretty much the very first time that we ever lived in a collective commercial space, and just had a makeshift stage. And I think I was 17. And then after that, that was the MO, was just rent commercial spaces downtown, live in them, build lofts, and then just have bands play and book, DIY shows and pretty much just help promote local music stuff. I'm playing currently with a band called Horde Demise. I just recently put in my 2 weeks and with Bear the Mark. So I'm rehireable, hopefully. And then before that, I think what I did before that was I was in a band called Violence of Action. I did vocals in that band. And that was just an online, it was during COVID. So it was just an online deal. And then the last band before that, was in a band called Star Killer. I played bass in that band. And then I was in the first iteration of Bear the Mark was I did vocals, and it was called Israel Hands. I play guitar in a couple of different other bands, The Legend of the Bronze Tuxedo, which really, I mean, I was just kind of like, it's just a bunch of friends. We just got together and just played whatever. And then I really don't fucking, honestly, I played in a bluegrass band for a while called the Daughters of the Confederacy. I played the mandolin in that band. I've done a lot of singer-songwriter stuff. And I think I was in other bands, but I can't really. But yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm from here in Amarillo, Texas. I've been here, moved back in the end of 2023. Yeah, and I've just been here ever since, just playing music. I have a construction company, electrical contracting company called Capital City Electric. We do work here in Austin, or there in Austin, and then here in Amarillo. And I have another construction company called Bigfoot and Yeti Construction.
Fuck yeah, man!
You know,
you're one busy guy, and I like that.
I try to do promotion for bands, and make stuff and make content so that they can share it and keep the scene alive.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Well, man, I mean, I guess I don't have to ask you question one.
Yeah. What was that?
Well, actually, question one is so you telling all that is actually one of these questions from later in the thing. But the first question is describe your musical background and how you got started. That was it. So how you got started, but describe the musical background.
So,
and I'm gonna grab a beer real quick. Do you want another one?
No, sir.
Okay.
So my musical background was when I was a kid. My mom, I had a really wild childhood. So my mom, she would always constantly play music. She was a punk rock girl, but she really loved R&B. So she would show me Romeo Blue, which was Lenny Kravitz before he was Lenny Kravitz. He was real super, there's a song called It Ain't Over Till It's Over.
Yeah.
And she would listen to, that's a real popular one. I fucking love that song. And then she would listen to bands like Rose Royce, which was a 70s disco band. And then from that it was she loved the Police. She liked kind of stuff like that. She kind of exposed me to that kind of music. My dad was into hair metal. He was a biker, and so he was into hair. I mean, I remember Meatloaf, Van Halen, stuff like that. And then I do have very fond memories of when I was a child. My uncle Ricky, he was super fucking country. He always had a flat top and a beer in his hand and a pearl snap shirt.
Hell yeah!
And he would play records. I would go to my Uncle Ricky's house, and they had a parrot.
Right. And
so this, it's kind of just, I guess I'm just flashing towards it, but it was a parrot, and he would always play Hank Williams, Conway Twitty. He did listen to some bluegrass, but he would just love a good honky tonk.
Yeah.
And so that was the first time that I remember I could tell you who was playing was just the country music. And then from that, I mean, I feel like there's a natural progression as you move forward. So I think I was in the 5th grade, and I started listening to some of the pop punk stuff that I say pop punk, but the Police, and she was into new wave, so I was listening to Duran Duran. And then my cousin, or my dad's cousin, he was like, hey, check out these other bands. They started showing me stuff, and then I got into skateboarding, and then from there punk rock pretty much, I guess, is punk rock was the foundation of the country music. So everything kind of stemmed from that. As I was listening to punk, I was like, I want something faster, I want something heavier, I want something that's more aggressive and visceral. So from there, it was just metal. And but I mean, punk rock, I think, is at the basis of it. And I would even include punk rock being country music, in my personal opinion.
No, I'm with you there. I was real big, growing up, it's I thank my mom and my grandparents and stuff like that and my older brother to introducing me to music and stuff. So it's I'm with you there. It's my mom would listen to techno, and
oh hell yeah, dude.
She listened to techno and The Cure and just stuff like that. But it's just from there, I had a grandfather who would play piano and sing in all the churches here in Amarillo. He actually has a vinyl record of him playing and recording in the church. So it's from them to my grandparents, I like country. So it's if you ask me, man, I'm with you there, because you like listen to old school outlaw country. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
shit.
Like I'm a big Hank Williams fan.
Yeah.
Love Hank Williams. You know, love Waylon Jennings,
Mhm. He's
Highwayman.
from Littleton.
Yeah.
Or Littlefield.
Yeah, I've been to Littlefield. I've
Yeah.
seen his little museum and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
it's awesome.
sick. But it's just you know, I'm with you. It's like I think it's like punk rock, you know, it's just kind of like just how they said things and did stuff, you know what I mean? And just
Well, they would set themselves apart. And then I mean also like according to our like region, you know, Texas swing also. So Texas swing, you know, you've got Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. Like that was considered like the way that if you were to like put on, you know, say if you were to play like Cryptopsy right now at a church, you'd be like, what the hell? Yeah, that was like the same thing as Texas swing because it was people were dancing and kind of going out and it was like the real it was just not something that was accepted.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it was the rebellious music of the time and yeah, I mean, I just think like country music in essence was always about being on this side of the law or and now it's like I guess modern country you could say is literally like 808 beats and then some dude who's in a truck, you know, talking and rapping. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
Just
I'm gonna try not to cuss as much,
no,
but I promise you I'm gonna fucking fail.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We do cuss on here, so I'm good. Like I said, I keep it to where like so a lot of people that do watch, they're like I don't know if they all came from the Three Amigos and checked it out, the Three Amigos, but it's like I try not to be as funny on this one, but I mean like we laugh and that's great, but it's like I try to keep that real serious interview vibe where it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's me get to know you and then they get to know you, and then if this is the episode that gets millions of views and you get fans and they're like, oh man, I seen you on the Chingasos and from there. So just, you know, cuss away, please. You know what I mean? I cuss away if it's in your vocabulary and you got it ready to go, please do it. But I'm gonna say cuss words and.
Well, what about you? I want to know, like, since we're trying to get to know each other.
Yeah, of course.
What kind of music, like, really, because I listened to the last podcast you had with Anthony. So, like, your first show was was it Children of Bodom? Or no, I'm sorry, it was the one before that.
It was Ted Nugent.
That's
here
right.
At the Civic
and you fell
Center.
asleep during a Ted song.
Yeah, it was a Stranglehold, man.
Nice.
I know that song is about fucking, but it's just. I can't with that solo, man. That solo makes me sleepy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's just, you know, I like Ted Nugent. I think, you know, like I like his music.
The Nuge.
Yeah, the Nuge, brother. Yeah. But it's just, man, Children of Bodom was that, like, my brother took me to my first metal show, which was the Gigantor. And seeing, it was like, I guess I was telling Anthony, is High on Fire.
I fucking love High on Fire.
Yeah, they were great, dude. They opened the show and they fucking kicked ass. But it was like after that, I think it was God Forbid. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but it was like High on Fire, God Forbid, and then once I seen Children of Bodom, and it was just at that point in time, like you come out and like people are dogging people for having keyboards and shit in a metal band, but then like Children of Bodom got on stage and it was just like, oh man, you're in for a show, you know. And there's just something about like the songs that Children of Bodom were playing. Maybe they're kind of emo-ish if you think about it and look into his day.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever listened to Children of Bodom. I know that they're a staple, and I have a lot of takes that I make online, but it's because if they don't, it doesn't match. Like I know it sounds real stupid, but like I feel like there is a. But dude, I don't think I've ever listened to a Children of Bodom song. As in like Cradle of Filth ish.
You know, kind of Cradle of Filth. In my opinion, I'm not a big Cradle of Filth fan. So it's like, it's not really black metal because I think that's what Cradle of Filth like tries to classify as.
Yeah, like symphonic black metal.
Yeah. So if I had to put Children of Bodom, it'd kind of be like maybe a little bit of black, but it's more like it's like black metal, but like a thrashy type vibe just with a keyboard.
Yeah.
But their songs, it's like
Bleeding. You know what Bleeding Through is?
Yes.
So is it kind of less hardcore, more like the metal version of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say less hardcore, a little bit more metal. But it's just fuck, how do I explain it? It's like some of their songs, it's like one of them is like Angels Don't Kill. But it's just like it's got a good melodic tone to it, but it's like it's very heavy and thrash and stuff. And like maybe after this podcast we're with some Children of Bodom, but like the first song that I ever heard was Blood Drunk. It's just the beginning is just the piano kicking in, and then it gets that just real heavy and brutal. Then you watch the video, and it's kind of like cannibalistic, based around like Chernobyl.
Mhm.
It kind of gives like that Chernobyl vibe based around there, but it's like cannibalistic type.
I gotta check it. I'm really sick. I guess sometimes I just don't expand my horizons. So if I hear something, a name like that band Ice Nine Kills, I always thought that they were like a fucking rap metal band.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to explain it. But just the word ice and then the number in there.
Yeah.
I'm like 3-6 Mafia is the first thing, and then like ice, I think of a grill.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never listened to them because the name was just so off-putting.
Yeah.
I just
I've never really given them a chance either. To be honest with you, it's like
I hear they suck. So I mean, but then I hear like they're great.
Yeah. So I mean, like they came to Canyon not so long ago, if I'm not mistaken.
They went to King. What did they do there?
They did the lumber yard. They got that big lumber yard out there. That big fest.
Really?
Yeah, that big concert.
How that went.
I'm kind of curious myself, but it's like I know that some of their songs are like on Rock 108 and stuff.
Oh, really? So they're kind of like
Yeah.
like Slipknot, kind of like
Yeah.
radio friendly metal, like introduction to metal
Yep.
type deal.
And I won't talk any Slipknot on here because I know you're not a big
It's not
fan
that
of
I don't
Slipknot.
like them, to be honest. It's like to me, it's just like normie shit.
Right.
Like you could listen to Slipknot, yeah, but it's. I mean, there's just so much more metal. It's
There's more metal out there.
It sounds really pretentious, but I'm not trying to be pretentious. Just like that's not. If I want to listen to something fucking heavy, like really heavy,
Yeah.
or like I'm not going to listen to Slipknot.
I get you.
It's going to be like it's the Creed to like dad rock, I guess. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I see where you're coming from, and I understand why. Because it's like when I think about Slipknot, to me, like other than like, so my first CD that I ever bought was Children of Bodom's Blood Drunk,
Mhm.
but the second CD that I bought was Iowa. Now, back then, during the Iowa days, I felt like, yo, that's fucking heavy, fast, and loud, back
Right.
then. But it's like through the years and stuff, I feel like their music has kind of like, it's still heavy in some parts, but it's like they kind of added more melodic and
Like Butt Sour.
they added more butt sour stuff too.
Yeah.
But so if it's not your cup of tea, man, I'm not gonna dog you for it.
Yeah,
Everyone
for
has their
sure.
own opinions. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah. I just like to give people shit. I mean, fuck, don't listen to me. What do I know? You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm just.
He's like, man, I'm just here hanging out, having a good time. But it's like, I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not mad that you don't like Slipknot. How can I be upset with somebody who doesn't like a type of music? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you are your own person, and if that's what you dig, then you know what I mean. That's what you dig.
Yeah, for sure. I think now, like honestly, a lot of stuff that I listen to is just I'm listening to like the classics. So like I'm listening to like Devourment, fucking Fixed, like just all those old death metal bands. Just because I'm trying to, I guess there's nothing new that's really catching my attention. The only bands that really like caught my attention is the past couple of years has been like Lorna Shore, but they're just fucking wearing out that formula. It's just like, man, here we go.
Well, it's like for me, man. I'm not a big. Everyone nowadays is a big Slaughter to Prevail fan.
I don't like them.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I'm not a big fan of them either. But it's like I'll give Alex his props. I mean, I can't do that shit. You know what I mean?
Alex is terrible.
Yeah. Like him doing his vocals and stuff. Great. That's awesome. That's cool, man. But it's like at the end of the day,
man, fucking No Jumper, which is like a hip hop podcast where the guy's like, listen, when you drop your atoms up, and he's like, oh, and he's like, do that. And it's like, what the hell? Giving demonstrations.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he definitely like good marketing of just him in his room, and I guess Russia just going ham doing like Katy Perry covers and shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I respect about like Slipknot is it's introduction to metal. Like there's so many bands that like once you get past that threshold of just getting introduced to it, that it's vast. I mean, you could end up going down the rabbit hole. And I appreciate those bands too because they bring in, because playing metal is, and actually in the past, I would say probably maybe like the past 10 years, it's those bands are kind of coming to the forefront. I mean, look at Knocked Loose, for instance.
Yeah.
Like when the hell would you hear, like 20 years ago, a hardcore band like on Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, I know they were, but it was more of like the post-hardcore like Thursday
Yeah.
thrice or whatever the hell it's
I think Slayer played Jimmy Kimmel too once.
Yeah, but Slayer's Slayer. I mean, I
I mean-
know, like it's just there's I mean,
But it's like you said though. It's like how many times are you going to see Slayer actually perform on Jimmy Kimmel? How many times are they going to put Slayer on TV while Kimmel? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
it's one of those things. It's like I see exactly where it comes from. It's like Knocked Loose, like Slaughter and shit. You know? So
Have they played any late night shows?
I don't think they have, but I mean, with like this day and age, like you said, like I know Knocked Loose has, and I think one time back in the day, I think Slipknot did a show back in the day.
More than likely, they were to me like they were
But-
more of like the shock. There was the shock value of like, all right, there's like 10 or 15 dudes on stage, all beating each other up,
Wearing
and,
masks,
like wearing
you know.
masks. Like it's just like the shock of it. And
Yeah.
I get it, like I said, but it's just introduction to
But
my
other-
opinion.
But other than that, I think Knocked Loose was the like in like this day and age, like threshold wise,
Yeah.
like Knocked Loose being the first. But other than that, like I don't really remember any other metal band being played on a talk show. But I mean, if anybody who's watching, you know, if you see the talk show and there's a metal band on it, you know, put it in the comments and we'll talk about it. But yeah, no, other than that, man, I couldn't fucking tell you. You know, I just remember watching that Slayer on Kimmel that one night because it's like right when World Painted Blood came out and
Mhm.
Tom forgot the lyrics. And you see him on like the TV and he's kind of like laughing. He's like,
Have you ever seen the parody video? It was like it was like in the early days of YouTube, but it's misheard lyrics, and it's a Slayer like it's a but I mean he's just yelling like instead of Angel of Death, he's yelling Hey Johnny Death. It's ridiculous. It's one of the funniest like things that I mean. He's like Hey Johnny Death, you know.
That's funny though.
Yeah,
Like I'd go and watch that because it would ruin the song. It's like you'd be saying that instead of the original lyrics.
That's what every time I think of misheard lyrics. So it's like a lost art I think that people stop doing for heavy bands and misheard lyrics videos. I
Yeah.
think that needs to come back.
That would be tight to see that come back, man. I'd
Oh,
love to
yeah.
go check it out. But it's like I'm all for parodies of anything,
Oh,
you know.
fuck yeah.
Like Weird Al, dude. I'm a big Weird Al fan.
Yeah.
I love Weird Al. Just sign me up for him parodying songs or anyone else parodying songs. I'm generally a big. I didn't get a chance to talk about this on the Anthony podcast, but it's so I don't do horror. Like he was telling me about these horror movies, and I like they're on the list for me to maybe one day sit down and watch. But I'm a big comedy guy, so
Yeah.
any comedy movie you get me in front of a comedy like movie, dude. I'm in hook, line, sinker. I'm a big sucker for comedy.
What's your favorite comedy movie?
Like stand up or just like
Or just like it's like a movie as a whole. Or I guess you could say like you know the Adam Sandler universe. I guess
Yeah.
could be considered like its own thing.
yeah.
And then you have like the you know like the Gene Wilder like you know Mel Brooks type shit.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of its own world.
Yeah.
What would you say is like your favorite?
Man, hands down I'm gonna say one of my favorites. Two of my favorites. It always comes down to two because I can go back to them both. Would either be Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back
Hell yeah.
or Dave Chappelle's Half Baked.
Fuck yeah. Snoochies, bro. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So it's
awesome.
just like I can always come back to those movies and watch them any day of the week. You know?
Yeah, that is funny.
And,
Yeah, the Jay and Silent Bob. I remember dude quoting that so much, and then Strikes Back. You know, I'm just gonna. You know, it's yeah.
He's like, and I'm just like,
Yes, exactly. That was actually. I remember that movie. I remember it was like it's before memes. It was just watching movies like that. Oh shit! Rob's calling.
Rob's. Sorry, everybody. Give me just a second. You are tuning in to Pacos Chingasos. How are you doing today?
Boy, I just came up with this hard ass pose just like the client, just like this look.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to show Gabriel your pose.
Hell yeah, dude!
Oh, no, sorry.
Sick, right?
There you go.
I was trying to I wanted them to pick up the phone and be already be like in a hard ass pose like superhero.
Yeah. Too bad I can't see your whole body.
Oh.
I wish I could see your whole body right now.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna call you back after I finish this podcast.
All right, love you boys.
All right, love you, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Peace.
peace. That right there, man. I love that guy. That's my brother. He's actually one of these days going to become my producer, executive producer to this.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's
because
cool.
he's my shout out to Rob. I know he's not watching right now because he just called me, but I call him my idea advisor. So a lot of those, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of those videos that I do, they're comedy based because that's what I want people to think is like, oh man, what's this jackass doing again? You know, what's he's always doing? But it's like, I call my buddy and I'm like, hey man, I got this idea, and he's like, all right, let's brainstorm and see what we can make. And then
that's a good idea. That's always good. It's always good to have somebody like to bounce his ideas off of, because even if they suck, at least you can extract something from it to like make it into. I guess it'd be the same thing with like comedy writing too. Like the idea may not be fully formed, but just like the abstract of that idea can be fleshed out into something good and funny.
Right.
You know.
So I'm with you there. It's like did you see the Horde Demise one that we did?
I think it was in it.
No. So you did that podcast where we actually made a video before the pod was it was me and Rob. We're sitting on the roof and we're listening. So the funny part is like I'm gonna give you a whole background of like I'm gonna give you the whole backstory to it because it's funny because it's like I told Rob, I was like, hey man, I was like, let's do something for this podcast, and I was like, I have no ideas, and so things start like we just started bouncing ideas off each other, and I was like, hey man, what if we got on the roof drinking beers? And it was like, okay, well, it's like he was like, all right, let's play some music, you know, let's get some music playing. I was like, all right, so I was like, should we listen to Horde Demise? Like, you know, I was like, you know, let's plug Horde Demise. He's like, nah, man. He's like, how about this? It'd be funnier. It's like, even though this is the Horde Demise podcast, it's like we're on the roof listening to, you know, shout out to Berserk. We're listening to Bite the Curve from Berserk on the roof. So it's just like, oh, okay, let's do that. And so then that's where I started learning how to video edit. Then I put Steve-O's picture on there real big and shit like that. So to me, it was funny. It was like, okay, it's all like, yeah, this is the Horde Demise podcast. We're going to plug them. But it's like, let's plug other bands too and get.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And everything like that. But we thought it'd be funnier. It's like, instead of like listening to death metal, talk about death metal, we're listening to our good homies in Berserk.
They're really good, man.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They're so talented, so young.
Yep.
That's everybody in the band.
I can tell you right now, man, I'm so glad that I'm actually getting close with everyone in that band. I hang out with B-Man a lot.
Nice.
There's actually another podcast that you're invited to come and join. It's called Taco About It.
Talk about it.
Taco About It.
And
the funny part about it is it's just going to be B-Man, myself, and like if your guest, it'd just be the three of us. We're going to have a big tray of tacos right here. And we're going to play like a little trivia game. And if you get the answer wrong, it's like you got to pour like this real hot sauce on your taco and eat it.
Well, I'm going to see if my mother-in-law will she's, oh my God, like amazing.
Yeah.
See if she'll make us a batch of hot sauce.
Yo, see,
dude.
I'm a sucker for any homemade salsas. Like I love them.
She takes like the, what is it? Chile de árbol. And then she'll toast it on a comal. And like, I mean, it's like everybody in the house is like,
it's like I go outside and run.
Yeah, dude. No, and then she'll blend it with, and then dude, it's just brutal, and I love it. That's what I don't understand. Like,
it's like good taste, but the spice is there.
I don't know what it is. I can't do like the hot chips or whatever, but if there's a good hot sauce, oh my God. See, even if it hurts,
I'm with you there. I can't like Flamin' Hot. I think the only chips Flamin' Hot that I can do is possibly like not actual Takis, but like Doritos make those Dynamanitas.
Yeah,
those are the only ones. Those are the only ones that I can actually.
I like the texture of those. Over the Takis, because I feel like the Takis is to me it tastes like stale.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, Cheetos when you leave them open for too long.
Yes.
So that's what it feels like to me. So, you know, but the little dynamites, those ones, it has the good crunch.
So those right there are really like the only like spicy chips that I like, super hot spicy chips that I'll eat. And then maybe if I'm feeling it, flaming hot Cheetos, but they have to be the limon ones. I can't do just regular flaming hot Cheetos.
Dude, there's a place called the Paleton on the boulevard. I think they just opened one right there next to Sam's. But if they take like, I mean, you can pretty much get it at any kind of like taqueria. But I think that what you do is you just like a plate of chips or different types of chips, and then they just like dress the shit out of it. The only thing I don't like are the cueritos. Like those freak me out.
Yeah.
It's literally pickled like pork rind.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, I can't. No, man.
Like pig's feet, I'll eat it. But like I don't know. It's just something about like, the texture. It's so weird.
Like when it's that slimy texture, it can't do it. You know what I mean? Like I can eat. I'm not a picky eater. Like you put food in front of me, I'm gonna eat it unless it's shellfish because I'm allergic.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude, it sucks. Man. It sucks so bad.
You're missing out.
I know, man. I followed this dude on TikTok and he does like fishing. I can eat fish, but I can't eat shellfish.
What is it about that?
I think it's the iodine.
Oh really?
But back to before we get on a whole new topic, back to Tim's hands. El Tropico. I go to El Tropico all the time. And when I lived in Canyon, I lived in this apartment complex that they had a laundromat, but a bum broke in and like broke them. And then they never replaced them and then charged us for that. Bastards, fuck you. But so I would go to the laundromat in Canyon. And it was the old school Maytag laundromat.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it was right next door to the Maytag laundromat was El Tropico. So I would go in there and I'd get pickled chips.
Yeah.
Or I'd get the chips dressed.
Oh yeah.
And I'd get like a soda, fucking, you know what I mean? Like I'm tearing it up, and I'd get the flaming hot Cheetos.
The Balaton, like if you ever get a chance to on the boulevard, they have, like I said, they have one there next to the Sam's. Imagine like the Tropico next level.
Ooh.
In my personal opinion.
Honestly, man, I would like to go check out the Peloton.
Oh, dude, it's so good. They have so much good shit. Like there's also I'm not sure where it's on the boulevard. It's called like Balazos, but it's dude, they have like they serve burgers. Yeah. And they've been featured in some like Food Network stuff. They're so good. They're so good. They have like a hot dog, they have a burger. Also, they have like, chips that are dressed, and then they put like just a shitload in like really thinly sliced beef jerky. Dude, I'm gonna go home after this meeting.
Right, no, so man, you like right now, man, I could tear up a whole mess of tacos right now.
That's actually a good idea. That would be a really good idea. Or get like a freaking Blackstone, and like while you're doing the podcast,
just be like, it's like, hey man, what do you want in your taco? It's a future idea that we're working on right now. It's just it's a shout out to B-Man for that one. It's a good idea, bro. There's this. At first, it was kind of like an idea not to rip off Hot Ones, but like to do interviews but eating spicy tacos. But it's like, nah, let's play a trivia game.
Dude, the formula's there. Yeah, actually get all of the Hot Ones hot sauces.
And just drop them.
Do it.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think of it that way. That right there is a good idea too, because I know World Market sells that fucking whole Hot Ones hot sauce. We did it like as a family. And man, it was brutal. Like towards the end, when I eat something hot, like I start sweating. Yeah, I start sweating profusely. So you can tell. Like, dude, it was brutal. Like my brother-in-law, he just powered through it at the end. He was like still putting it on there. Like, dude, like halfway through, it's like your stomach, brother.
And you know what sucks is my every single time I eat something hot, I always think like I want to get something to drink right away. Anything carbonated that
just makes
sizzle.
It worse.
Oh my gosh,
just makes it worse.
Yep.
But it's like I'm weird, man. I'm not that dude to go straight towards the milk. I can't. I like milk, but it's it's hard for me to like. It's like most of the time when I'm eating something spicy, I have a beer in my hand, so it's hard for me to start mixing dairy and beer. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
it's like that old wives' tale. Like if you eat pork and dairy, you get cancer. I guess.
Yeah.
Or sick. I don't know if it's cancer. I think I jumped the gun.
No, man. That's fucked up.
I know.
Don't eat pork and dairy.
You'll get cancer.
You'll get cancer. There's no way around it. It's instant cancer. Well, that's it.
It's really funny because most American breakfast is like you're drinking milk and then bacon and then pancakes. Cancer.
Yep, straight cancer, man. Yeah. See, I fucked up. Got cancer already. I make my breakfast burritos, man. It's fucking bacon, eggs, cheese, potatoes.
Cancer. Cheese on any kind of like bacon.
Cancer, man.
That's where it is.
That's it. Fucked up now.
Oh man, I think we veered off that question pretty far.
Big time, bro. Big time. I mean, I can keep going with the questions.
Let's do it. Let's go.
All right, so So number two in my AI generated questions are, so it's like, what are your favorite genres and what style? So this one says singing,
Yeah.
but I know you're a jack of all trades, which is being like singing, bass playing, drumming, guitar.
I'm not good at drums. I suck at drums.
Not
But
okay.
I've dabbled.
Dabbled,
I'm not
okay.
very good at it.
But it's like, so what is your style of like? Okay, I'll do it this way. One, give me just like a little bit of each. So like a little bit of style in bass playing, a little bit of style in singing, a little bit of style of guitar playing. Like what is the style that you prefer when you're doing those?
I don't know if it's really a style, but it's like just what I to make like something sound more full. So if there's like as far as bass, I like to do counter melodies.
Yeah.
So then I'll take it. And so like the counter melody I think is like really key, especially in bass. With metal, not so much. Metal, like you're pretty much following the kick drum. You can get real crazy. You can get real wild with it. You can be experimental. But if you're following like the formula, and the formula being, I guess I don't really know how to answer the question. As far as like bass playing, if I have the opportunity and I'm not coming into a project, because it seems like over the past like 2 years, I'm coming into projects that were already established.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to like learn songs. So I guess as far as bass, it would be I'd love to do counter melodies. I want to have a melody that counters it, so it has it pretty much like it'll create something that sounds different. Like while you're singing, I'll descend. So I get
Yeah, I get you.
that's what I like to do with bass. As far as guitar, and my favorite like style of playing guitar is I like bluegrass music. I think it's just honestly, man, to be able to have like the chops of like Tony Rice, and like country music, I think is it's just as technical as you would say like sweeping or 8-string guitars or any of that crazy shit. Like I like country music guitar is I mean I can't say that it is my style, but I would love to get better at it.
I get you.
Vocals, honestly, I've always been really I kind of just project my voice like just to be loud. So as far as like having lows or highs, I've never really been able to do that. Like and then singing, like clean singing, it's always just been country music. So it's kind of that's always been. I think I tried to play for a band. It's called New Rome back in like 2000 whatever. I'm so fucking old. I keep forgetting how old I am. But and it was along the lines of like the Taking Back Sunday, like, brand new feel.
I got you.
And I could do it and I could bellow, but it was just I didn't really like it. It wasn't something that was like I just wanted to do. I just wanted something. Always wanted to be in something a little bit more heavier, like, aggressive as far as like vocals. But guitar playing, man, I always wanted to do. I like all styles of music. So I guess really to pick a style that I could do, and every single one of the styles that I try, I suck. So I try to get better at it. So it's always like just trying to get better. But I mean, as far as like a certain style, I can't really say what I'm good at. I'm adaptable. I try to be adaptable.
So the jack of all trades.
Yeah, I try to be. I mean,
Sorry.
No,
I feel you there. That's honestly, man. I was gonna ask another question. Is just like talking about like being adaptable and doing country music. So it's like, did you like growing up? Did you do a lot of karaoke before just getting into?
No, I just sang. Like my dad sang. Like we have a painting project that we're doing right now, and like my dad's he's heading that one, and so he's he plays music while he's kind of walking around. Mm-hmm. And when I was a kid, like again, kind of going back to like just a child, like anytime I heard music and it would catch my ear, I would learn it and sing it. And he told me that when I was a little kid, and I remember that, I vaguely remember it, but there was an REM song like. Oh, what the hell is it? It's like that's me in the corner.
Yeah,
it's like so he would. Yeah. And so he was like, "You remember this song?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "When you were a kid, you would just sing the song over and over and over again." And so I don't even remember what the fuck your question was.
There's just the style of singing, or so it's like, what are your favorite genres and what styles of singing and or guitar playing and or bass playing? But I mean. Dude, honestly, I like where you're going with this because it's like,
Yeah, just I think really like it has to. I feel like music is so subjective. So like, if something catches my attention, like I like some really weird shit,
Yeah.
you know. And then I really like some like super duper poppy stuff, like the Pink Pony Club, fucking banger, you know. But then I'll listen to like I said, like I'll listen to some Mortician right after that, like it's really or like Ass Suck, from Florida, or Anal Cunt, like all those bands that are like super crazy on the extreme side. But then I'll put on some Bruno Mars. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I feel you there. Like my playlist, man, it's like so it's like I was talking to when I was interviewing Anthony and you saw some of it. It's like I told Anthony and I told George, I'll tell you, the new Horde Demise album is in my skate playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So my skate playlist is a mixture of, so it's like 1 second I could be listening to like Tech Nine, or I could be listening to it'd be like Tech Nine, or there's some Waylon Jennings in my skate playlist. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd be listening to like country rap. There's some poppy rock in there sometimes, but then out of nowhere, some Cannibal Corpse or Horde Demise or Death Clock will come on, and then it comes back to like Megadeth will be playing, and then it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then out of nowhere, fucking Daft Punk is playing next. You know what I mean? So my style of music and what I like is the same way. It's like I'll listen to some way out there stuff, super heavy, brutal, in your face death metal, and then it's just like I'll put on some fucking Bruno Mars too, or I'll put on, you know what I mean? I'll listen to like Weird Al or just anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's just I'm with you. I can understand exactly where you're coming from. It's just because it's like it's whatever catches me. It's what I'm like in the feelings kind of dude. So it's like what I'm feeling in that moment in time. It's like if I want to laugh, I'm gonna laugh. I want something that's gonna. If I'm angry and I want something super brutal and heavy to help me cope through the day because I'm angry, dude, sign me up. So I'm with you. I'm with you there.
You ever heard of Wesley Willis?
I have not.
He's like, it's the rock and roll McDonald's guy. He's like extremely autistic, but he made like
that rock and roll McDonald's. Okay. So yes.
So like that there's a whole subgenre of just music that's like that. I guess Daniel Johnson would kind of be in the middle of that, and Wesley Willis, but there's
kind of like Kyle Gordon maybe.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just like this obscure, weird dork rock, right? And so there's so many different like little subgenres. What I was trying to get to is like as far as like being in a certain style, I don't think that's to me like to create something is to really like try to understand it and then reinterpret it. So as far as like what I was trying to get to is like my favorite music to perform has always been heavy, because and I do this a lot, I will much rather sacrifice this, like I'll play it and it may be kind of sloppy, but the performance of it is just, I enjoy the performance aspect of playing music, because that's like, in my opinion, like that's where it'll captivate an audience, like I guess I draw that from bands like, At the Drive-In, like they're just super like, whoa, what the hell, they're just like the first like the Dillinger Escape Plan, just fucking crazy chaos. I love stuff like that. Like that to me is more, it's more captivating than like the music, because you can hear an album. Like if you go to same thing, like, so I hate jam bands. I hate to put that out there, but like if you see a band that's performing and they're kind of winging some stuff and they're kind of jamming on it, to me I think that's a little bit more interesting than like, all right, we're gonna play it to the T. It has to be on time. And everything is like, it's just a metronome. I feel like that is less of a performance and more of like, you could do that at the house. You could put that album on at the house and like listen to it and do whatever. But whenever you're what's going on behind me? Oh.
So my great grandpa, he's probably going to check the mail.
Nice.
I wasn't make sure he wasn't driving run the lawnmower, because he's been known to fall. So.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I
love that guy. He's I tell everyone about him. He's Before we get back to what you were saying, I do apologize.
No, you're fine.
So my great grandpa, he's my wife's grandpa, but I get along with him so well. We,
Yeah.
he lets us stay here and help take care of him, and we only
Nice.
take care of the house and stuff like that. But it's
That's
just
awesome.
he's an old Vietnam vet, and I love giving him shit. But it's like at the end of the day, a few years ago, me and him I would get off work, and this is when I was doing that welding job. I'd get off work and I'd haul ass all the way over here, and me and him, we'd sit on the back porch, bust open the humidor, and bust out a cigar and just sit there and drink beer, and we just talk about our day and stuff like that. So like at the end of the day, man, like I'm always like anytime I can, like I love that old man, and I try to keep my eye on him as much as possible when I'm here.
Mike, I guess I lived with my grandmother when I was in my teens.
Yes.
And my great grandfather was a World War II vet.
Oh, nice.
So, and he had dementia, So like sometimes he would wake up we would wake up in the middle of the night, and Grandpa would be just running around and be like, "Put out the fucking fires! They're coming! They're coming!" I'm like, "What?" Like he just didn't know what was going on, or like, it was always something interesting. But I loved, and even as a young, I would always try to talk to. It sounds crazy, but like street people too. They have such crazy stories, and I did traveling also, and hitchhiked around, and just hearing different people's stories from where they were to where they are to where they're going. I think people are just so interesting. But it's with age comes wisdom, and also has a crazy story.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never been opposed to, and I like all of my younger nieces and nephews and our cousins and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always telling them go do it, go explore, leave, and just do something. Get out of here. And
get out there, do something that scares you. Or you know what I mean? Just go learn something, do something. Dude, I'm with you there.
I travel a lot. And most of the times I was alone. And being alone helps you being okay with yourself, I guess, is really therapeutic. I lived in New York and I didn't know anybody. I just was there.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure it out. And so I think that's one thing that we don't in this day and age. I hate to sound like a fucking old man, but young people they're so connected that they could leave and go live in another state and you'd still be connected with other people. I think we have an advantage to that. But back in the day, I didn't have money for a cell phone, so fucking get on a cell,
get a payphone, fucking hit.
Hey mom, I'm here. Collect call,
send a letter.
Yes,
and so yeah.
I think that's really cool, and especially talk to older people before that technology. How did they spend their lives? A book that I read when I was younger that really changed my position on that is a book by Jack Kerouac called The Dharma Bums, and the book is about pretty much his experience traveling and talking to different people about their religious experiences. It changed the way that I saw it. The book opens up where he's hopping a train and he's there in this rail car and there's a dude that's with him and he's kind of watching him and then they stop and he pulls out a jug of wine and just start talking and they eventually get on the topic of religion, but it wasn't so much it's a story of looking, it's just personal spiritual experiences, so it was a really fucking cool book to read because this guy's just kind of wandering around and then there's other people that he meets, have little trinkets and someone's a Buddhist and all this crazy shit. But it's just people's experiences and how you interpret them. I think that's something that's pretty badass. As when I get older, dude, I would love people just want to hear stuff and be able to tell them about what we went through.
Hear your stories and where you've been.
But create a story that people want to hear, because I think that's the thing is you have to do, because you could definitely always play it safe, but if you're not taking those risks, no one's going to want to hear about your story. You're not going to leave a legacy behind. Do some risky shit.
It's back then, man. I was driving. I did the safe route, make that turn. I get exactly.
Dude. That's I think life's about experience, and you have to create the most experiences so that you can have a story to tell, something that people want to be interested in, especially your kids. That's why. Grandpa, what was it like in the war? And, he's just it sucked. But, at the same time, it's well, fuck, at least he went and did that, And, that's why I think absolutely the men and women that, lived before us that just took those crazy risks are the ones that have, what is that quote? It's tame women rarely make history or some shit like that.
Yeah. It's always those ones that's I'm just going to go out there and do it. You want to hear something crazy?
Yes. Tell me.
So, I've only asked you 2 questions so far.
Oh shit! How many?
And we're sitting at almost 50 minutes. To me, that right there is just I love this. I love the fact that I only asked you 2 questions and we're already 45 minutes, almost 50 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's those things that it's like I can't stress it enough. I love the facts. Like, even if this podcast goes longer than what I expected it to, I love the facts because it's all like hearing somebody and talking with them and learning more about them and getting to know them is just like I crave that. It's just like on the inside, I'm a real big introvert. I try not to like. It's hard to say I'm an introvert and do a podcast, but hear me out.
It's not. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so I'm real big to like. I started. So it's like. I used to be a part of the metal scene when I was younger. I would go to all the shows. I wouldn't say I was decently known, but I was at their shows and I would go and hang out and stuff like that. But it's just, I'd be in and out just because of like what's going on up here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so meeting people and stuff was like that. So it was like now I'm making this comeback to going back to all the metal shows and stuff like that and just hanging out. Like I enjoy it and I enjoy the fact that it's like meeting people in the community who will just talk and tell their stories and get to know people and just stuff like that. To me, it's like I get to make a new friend every day, and it's just I get to know more about someone. You know what I mean? It's like everybody that I've interviewed on my podcast so far, it's like I tell them I generally mean it when I say I'm excited to see you because it's like I get to do this, which I love, but it's like I also get to know somebody new and make new friends and. It's like I told Anthony, man, I don't get to hang out with him very often, and the little time that we've known each other, I do think that me and him became pretty good friends pretty quickly and shit. And so it's like I enjoy that, and so I enjoy the fact that I've only asked you 2 questions and we're already 50 minutes in. I enjoy. It's pretty much where I was going with that. Is like I enjoy the fact that because we still have. There's still like 8 more questions, and we have however much time until you're ready to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I love I just want you to know I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Speaking of like time to be done, I definitely want to wrap this up so that we can go to the show tonight.
Okay.
So there's a show tonight at Atomic Yellow.
That is true.
I don't know exactly the lineup, but I know World War is coming in from Lubbock. I think. I have the graphic here.
So also, while he's pulling up the graphic, just know we will be posting a reel part of this podcast episode where we're of the show as well. So we want to know that there is a show tonight, the Atomic Yellow, $10 World War, but it's going to be it's Birth Fest, right?
Yes.
It's going to be a great fucking show. And go see it. Go out there, go enjoy it. Go support your local metal scene. Like, he's going, listen, we're going to make Anthony call in and we're going to kidnap him. I know he's watching, so he's better be prepared, but he's going too. So, go out there and support your local metal scene. Go have fun. Go do it. It's summer. It's a Saturday. What else are you doing? You know what I mean?
It's one of the reasons I love death metal, but I can never fucking read their names.
Yeah, no. I love that.
In Your Grave, Gray Glow, World War, and then I think that's Death Warrant or Birth Warrant. I think it's Death Warrant. I'm sorry.
Death metal names, man.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is
lettering.
Just death metal
lettering is always.
You can actually put that right up to the camera. Let everybody see it. Anthony, I don't know if you're watching, but it's a fact. We're gonna take you. You're going.
I don't know if you can see it. Can you?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
Nice. That's going on tonight. Shout out to Tony and the Atomic Yellow and then Jarrett. Those guys, they do really good. They're so. Actually, what's really crazy is we have Tony shared this.
Yep.
So there's a guy. Okay.
Give me just a second. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go run to the restroom real quick, but please keep plugging. I'll be right back. I'm gonna keep listening to the podcast.
That sounds cool.
I'm sorry. The tab has been broke from the drinks.
There you go. So, we're here at the Pacos Chingasos podcast. I'm just trying to fill the time until he gets back. There's a show tonight. There's a lot of shows coming up. Tony actually shared something, so if I can if I can find it and I just don't have a bunch of dead air, I can share it now. But there's so many shows that are going on in Amarillo, and also if you guys are in bands here in the Amarillo area, I think I highly suggest that you guys reach out to Tony Longwell is his name. He's got a Facebook profile. The place is the Sunset Center over there off of Western and Plains, and I mean it's a venue that is unlike anyone that I think we've had in this town before because it's so centered around it's art centric. So whether you're and it's also all ages, which is incredible. You know, we've come a long way since I was a kid. Like I was going to places that were probably dangerous and not really like suitable for children to be at. But this place caters to, you know, having a safe environment where people can come. It's a safe space if that's like, you know, what you require. There's no judgment. There's no real like overarching like agenda of, you know, like some of the stuff that we've had in the past with venues, whether it's, you know, I don't know. It's just a place where you can go to express yourself. Like yesterday was the first Friday art walk.
Yeah.
They had Terror Tower, I think is the name of them. And like, you know, and then I think Wednesday they had the first High Plains Public Radio concert, which is fucking amazing. It's because they've never been able to book one here. And so now that they have the venue, I mean, I think it's just going to open a lot of doors for stuff like that, especially with it being done at the Sunset Center, which that place has been an advocate for the arts forever. I mean, since its inception, you know, and that's one thing that I think that Amarillo is that people don't understand is that we've always been so art centric, whether it's, you know, a tarnished legacy of SM3, but still like that is the legacy of just being centered around art. You know, I don't think he'll ever be able to get rid of that. But, you know, it spawned lots of artists. Like a lot of people that have come out of here have done so much. You've got Hayden Pedigo. You've got Chris Owens with Girls. I mean, there's a lot of bands that have come out of here that were kind of birthed from that art world. And you've got a lot of artists that have come out of here that are just, you know, that have been steeped in that. And I'm really excited to see like where it goes and how it plays out. So, sorry, I stared straight up into the camera for a good 20 seconds.
No, dude, you're good, man. You are so good. I appreciate you plugging away. But you were talking about the Tom Gillo and Tony.
Yeah.
Longo.
Oh, dude, the venue's awesome. I mean, Tony's constantly thinking new ways, like promote stuff. Just what they've got going on. Also, too, like even the Sunset Center, like the Sunset Art Center, like I think they have for like a family, and I don't quote me on this, but you can do like a whole family about $200 a month, or maybe it might not even be that much, but they have like you have access to resources where you can go in there and learn how to paint, have paint available to you, glass blowing, sculpture. There's even like screen printing. You know, stuff there that's available. And they have the first Friday, every first Friday of the month, they do the art walk. I know that they have art shows. When I was younger, we would go to the first Fridays just because they would have free wine, and it was a place to like go and like mingle and meet other people.
Do they still do that? Or
yeah, they do. They actually yesterday they had I think it's Terror Tower or Tower Terror. I can't remember. But those guys, like I watched a snippet that Tony put in the group chat that we have, and it was awesome. Like they were, you know, it was an acoustic set, but it was still like just the fact that they have a venue space in there is insane. And then also, there's so many good shows coming with like the band Filth, which is not the punk rock band, the deathcore band. There's like pretty much, I think they're kicking off the Hoodoo Mural Festival. So all of the party aspect of that fest is going to happen at Sunset Center now. And they have that outdoor, you know, stage area, which is fucking great. They're about to do the second annual one that they just did. I mean, it's just, that place has so much potential. And if we, as like the people who consume that stuff, don't support it, it's going to die. You know, I'm older now. Like when I was younger, I advocated to just being someone that could produce, but now like, I actually have the means to, you know, go and like really buy a piece of art from someone,
Yeah.
support an artist, which I highly champion that place. Like I think that they're doing the Lord's work, just helping young artists and the people who are just creating stuff like have a place to, and the all ages aspect is just fucking phenomenal. Like Jarrett's son, which I think is all based around Birth Fest. I saw he got a badass tattoo when we were at the practice a couple days ago. Yeah, man, I just like Tristan. Is like he's got a hardcore band. He's trying to find guys like in his age group to like fill that void. Shout out to Tristan. I want to see you find someone to play those instruments with you, man, because we need punk rock bands. Like that's the outlet. We need hardcore bands. We need death metal bands. We need just creatives, like doing creation and doing that. Like whether it's making a flyer, whether it's playing a show. Like we just need that. And I'm excited to see where Emerald goes with this because I've known for years and years that we have so much potential here, but there was no place to really cultivate that. And I think that we've really gotten to that spot now.
You're right.
You right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm trying to make sure there's still good audio. Phone's acting weird. There it goes.
Nice.
All right. No, man. It's just like you said. It's like I'm excited. I'm just excited for the fact like new bands coming out.
Yeah.
And bringing their creativity to the stage. It's like I'm excited to finally debut my band.
Yeah, dude.
The Bomb City Pile Driver. We're not ready to debut yet, but it's just man, it's one of those things where like I'm super excited to get it going, to get it ready to hit that stage because it's like everyone already knows I already do stuff with Corrosive Wrath and shout out to my brothers in Corrosive Wrath. I sing the song with them and we do our things, but it's like they're also the members of Bomb City Pile Driver, which is my band, and I enjoy it, but it's just like I don't like plugging. I don't like plugging my own stuff on here because it's like
don't be afraid to plug your own stuff.
It's not afraid. It's one of those things about like when I have guests, I want it to be about you. You know what I mean? I want it to be 100% you. This whole episode's about you. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be strictly just you. And so that's why it's like I try not to plug my own things because it's like at the end of the day, I'm excited and I want to tell people about it. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm just ready to bring it and show what we've been working on, everything like that. But yeah, this was
the aspect, like the actions speak louder than words, right? At least you're bringing things to fruition, like you're actually making and creating stuff, and you've got a project to like promote and present. Because most people, that's one thing I've learned throughout my years. Like a lot of people will have these ideas, and they'll get started on them, but they never actually execute. And that's like the hardest part about doing anything in the art world too, is like the execution. You can fucking talk about it all day. You can have the idea, but even it doesn't matter. Like whether it's like business, whether it's like art, like anything, like having the idea is good, but if you don't execute it, you're not. Like what did they say? Like the hardest part about like doing something is like just doing it.
Yeah.
If you can talk about it.
I apologize. Excuse me just a second. I have to go let the wife in.
Oh shoot.
Yep.
Awesome.
I apologize.
You're good, dude.
Keep plugging away.
All right. So again, back on Tony. No, man. Also, there's other places. The Rockwell Event Center. I think Bliss 66 were the old. Leftwoods. What is they're gonna start doing shows. Of course, you've got like the staples of the Golden Light, which I'm not gonna lie, I wish they would do more promotion so I can see what they're doing. I feel like there's not enough visibility. The 806 has, they're still booking shows. Smoky Joe's is like they're constantly. I don't know what the fuck they're doing though, but I just always see like bands outside playing.
From what I understand, it's always like cover bands and rock shows, but they never have anything like real heavy up there.
No, I don't think they should either because they have that demographic, and then there's a whole demographic. That's what's cool about. Everybody thinks like Amarillo is like so small, and they're like, "Oh, we're just too small." It's like, dude, but there's an outlet for everyone.
Yeah,
you've got the art kids that are hanging out at the 806. You've got like the outlaw red dirt country guys that are at GLC, the Golden Light.
Yeah,
and you got like the punk rock and the metal guys that are at the Sunset Underground, and then you've got like there's even rappers Oh, which I was about to get into. So
Yeah.
there's a dude that wants to talk shit about the Atomic Yellow and like saying like that, pretty much all I gotta say is like I've never seen Tony turn somebody away based on anything other than the criteria of like, okay, do you guys want to play a show? Like let's try to curate a show based around if there's potential to, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to turn down a show.
Yeah.
I mean, he may based off like conflicting, like schedules, but if there's a means to do it and like there's enough promotion and time, he's going to do that. But there's a certain gentleman, I don't want to name drop him, but he was like saying that that they were getting turned down because of like the color of their skin. It's like, dude, Tony's half Hispanic. Like his immediate family is like mixed race. Like even Jarrett's like mixed families. It's just so stupid. And even as a Hispanic guy, like that's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I feel that in our scene now, there is the least amount of discrimination amongst anybody. And like, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just being like objective. Like we have, everything is so accepting.
Yes.
And even like rap and like hip hop and like, fucking spoken word. I think that at one point they were trying to have some of the comedy shows, like the Bomb City, or the Yellow City comedy stuff, but it just didn't, it's just not something that they could work out. But I mean, in the future, like I could totally see like the Sunset Underground becoming the hub of culture.
Yeah, just being like everything. It's like we do everything from like country to metal, and that's everything in between. It's kind of like shout out to the homies at the Rockwell Event Center, and shout out to the homies of SLV. But it's also it's like the Rockwell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Rockwell, they did that big expo,
Mm-hmm.
which was great. I enjoyed the fact that they let me come out there and do my shit because it's like, and this isn't shit. I'm not meaning shit because whatever, but it's like they let me come out there and do. That pretty much gave me a corner. Let me put my banner up. They let me walk around and video everything, and I did it all. No, like I didn't ask for anything in return. I was like, I just want to come out there and promote my stuff and do that. But it's just like it's like the same thing with the Rockwell. It's like I love the fact it's like nowadays here in Amarillo, it's like you have a choice. You know what I mean? It's like I can either go to the Atomic Yellow to check out a show, or I can go out here and check out a show. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing because it's like it doesn't divide, but it brings the fact that there's one or the other into this town.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the fact it's like go check out here or come over here. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you know what I mean? And you can always go to both.
Yeah.
You can always go to pay at one and then go to the other and pay and check them out. You know what I mean? It's just, you can always go to both.
I feel that they're doing a really good job to avoid the overlap.
Yes.
Say Rockwell has a show and then Atomic Yellow has a show, so they're not overlapping. And that communication that they're having, I think, has been really good. I don't know if there's been any instances where one show's happening while the other one, but that communication, I think, is really key to bringing, really just like catering to the crowd. Yeah. So whenever venue owners and like people who are throwing shows can all communicate with each other, so that you don't get that overbook. Because imagine if the Golden Light has a crowd like a band, say for instance that one band where they light shit on fire and they're Japanese. I think I can't remember. I can't remember if they are Japanese, but I think it just I don't know what they're called, but it's some kind of, I think, haiku kind of adjacent. But say that show was going on, but then there was, Krungus is doing something at the Rockwell Event Center, and then say like Trench Ride is playing the show at the Atomic Yellow. They're not overbooking.
Yeah.
They're communicating with each other, and I think that really that's what we want to really nurture that. And that's something like I even started a website called Stage Sound Connect. And that was the goal, was I want to create a directory because we don't get a lot of shows here because we don't have a lot of venues. Well, we have a lot of venues, but we don't have like an interconnected thing. And I think that's one of the cool shits about what is it?
So I got a comment, and it's JN, and it says, "Hi, Harry," and then Shout out to Harry Whitehurst who's watching, and shout out to JN who says hi Harry, and then Harry says hi in the comments.
Oh yeah.
That's is that someone?
I don't fucking know any of those guys.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in and commenting.
Yeah. Harry Whitehurst.
Yeah. But I'm with you there. It's just I love the fact that the Amarillo is bringing in so much.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I love the fact that the Rockwell opened up because now the Rockwell just brought Upon a Burning Body, and I mean they brought Frozen Souls too.
Yeah.
But it's bringing in this big it's bringing into like more. It's like bringing in like, hey, Amarillo can host these shows. Amarillo can do this shit.
And I think that they have their place. Like both of those venues have their place. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, Rockwell is a event center. They are a place for a promoter to rent that comes with its own sound package, which is SLV. They have, and for bigger productions, like they are definitely the place to go.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, the Atomic Yellow is a venue for shows. So it's more of it's in-house production. There's no added fees. Like it's a place where you can book 6 bands and they can just do, what they're doing and not have to, do. There's not a production. There's not a machine behind it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm with you there. I'm not talking crap on Rockwell, but what I'm saying is like they are a place that can definitely hold and host, say, I don't know how to, a bigger band like Upon a Burning Body, which at a place like the Atomic Yellow, it may hit capacity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
But the thing is the Atomic Yellow has the ability to book that outdoor space, weather permitting, to have way more room than the Rockwell Event Center. But I feel like they both serve their purpose. One of them caters exclusively to and not exclusively, but like they both cater to the scene, but they both have their place in my opinion. SLV is that bigger venue, kind of like I would say like the Civic Center, but more towards like geared towards the music.
Yes.
Rather than like events, which is like they host like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and like what was that guy and the Mike McDonald, like the Christian artist that came and like it was pretty much like a whole like church service or whatever. A couple days ago. But instead of it being that, it would be like a venue for the sake of being a venue. And then the Rockwell Event Center is a space that you could rent out, or a production company or promoter can say, hey, we want a package. Could you give us a package deal? And then they could bring bigger shows through here. But I know that the Atomic Yellow has the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
And all of their sound and stage lighting are they can compete both on the same level. But I feel like the Atomic Yellow, in my opinion, is more of like the grassroots type of feel, as opposed to like the Rockwell Event Center is that. It is an event center that can be utilized for shows on a national stage act as well as like a local stage act. And however they want to do it, I think they have the ability to be both. But I think both of them in their own right are just they are pushing the envelope.
Yep.
And I feel like which is awesome is they're not in competition with each other.
Yeah.
They're creating a cohesive like relationship that's reciprocal where they're not overlapping. You don't see like, hey, you know what, we have the show on Friday, or we have the show on Friday. Yeah. And then it's just a war of who can draw the biggest crowd.
Right.
That's what's awesome to see because
they're more together,
yes,
which is what we need here.
Community.
And that's the best part about Yellow City is now.
Speaking of, my shit got stolen. I had a quad Cortex. And I had my guitar, which was a custom guitar that Adam from Bear the Mark made me, and then I have a PVT 40.
Yeah.
Which, all in all, was like over $4,000 worth of shit that was stolen from me. And I made a post that was shared amongst like everybody within like the music community, and it was found like literally 2 hours later.
Hell yeah.
And I just got it back, and which is awesome. I had to file a police report to do it and had to go through the proper channels, but I was able to not only find out who did it, but also find out where it was, and it was shared throughout the community. Like we have a good community here in Amarillo amongst the musicians and also the people that support music here.
I'm gonna let you know, man. When I seen that your stuff was stolen, as soon as it was shareable, I tried to share it. I was like, hey, yo, come help out come help out. You know, just like
Mhm.
that to me, it's like I think people taking other people's shit is bullshit. You know what I mean? I've had my fair share of, I've had a past with thievery and shit like that, but I made up for it, and you know what I mean? I generally try to be a better dude now. It's like I don't go around people's stuff, and I don't, you know what I mean? It's just at the end of the day, it's like I would go into stores and shit like that, but like I paid my ticket, did my community service, I went around, and my community service was to kind of like help out and prevent that stuff and everything like that. So I'm helpful. Like I think is like I try to go and help to prevent any type of that. And so see the fact that the community has came in and found your stuff and helped you do that is my thing. Is like I wanted to be part of that. So it's like no, help him find his shit.
Yeah,
help him find the guitar. You said it was a guitar that you were given.
I bought it, but it was like made for me to my specs, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to Adam Eiler. Like he can make you whatever you want. Like I have a guitar that I bought from him in 2020. It's still a beast of a guitar.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Like but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's really good to know that if something were to go wrong within our community, as small as it is, we're all, and we're still all like on each other's team.
Yeah, we're all still there to make sure that we all grow in that shape, way, or form.
Yeah,
and I'm 100% for that. You know, what
and
I mean?
all the bands like supporting each other too. Like I think is incredible. There's bands that like I just found out a band called Divided Me that's from here in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a Christian band, but who gives a shit if they're heavy? Like
it's
so crazy that there's like people don't know about it. Like so, for instance, like the Stray Sons, which is a kind of I'm listening to them. They're like a pop punk, like country music band. They're fucking awesome. Touching Voodoo, like just straight blues, awesomeness. Like we have a diverse musical community here, and everybody can thrive, and everybody will feed off of each other's energy if we keep that community alive. And that's what I like. I really do. I'm putting all my like hopes that this just continues to grow, and it's on, and I feel like it's on the right path. I really do.
I'm with you there, man. I feel like you're exactly right. Is this community growing into being something bigger and better?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually shout out to my buddy Justin from Descarcia. We were talking about it the other day. Any way to make this community grow, whether it's to fix like broken relationships or to fix, and like the venues, like Atomic Yellow. Thank you. It's like, shout out to Atomic Yellow again. I would plug them all day long.
Yeah.
But shout out to them for bringing in the shows that they have and stuff. That right there fixes this community that's been broken for so long.
Oh yeah, dude.
And the fact that shout out, and it's also like shout out to Danny Burke from Breaking Solace.
Mm-hmm.
When I did that expo, he's all like, you may not think it now. He's like, but it's like doing this podcast and you coming out to our events and doing live on locations. He's like, you are helping this community grow.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's like I continue. I like to support where I can support and be a big support system in any shape.
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to meet him, but like I've talked to him online. He was like, "Hey, we're looking for a member," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I would love to help you fill that position. If I may not be able to do it, but at least like get your requests in front of people."
Yeah,
and also I'm a part of a Discord for that's primarily like the Lubbock guys, and they have a really strong community there too. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like since I've been in the scene, it's which is going on over 20 years now. Like, but Lubbock and Amarillo has always kind of had a rivalry. But I feel like that's something that's being like those walls are being torn down.
Yeah.
For instance, World War playing tonight. At Atomic Yellow, they're amazing, and they're from Lubbock, which we don't really get a chance to like talk to a lot of people from, and at least I don't, but I know that like guys like Alex Cunningham talks to the dudes in Bastion. There's the Day After Dead band from Lubbock. I mean,
I love
you
Day
know,
After Dead.
Cam, which is this is actually
Toxic
really,
Menace.
yes. Okay, so Cam, like he had some kidney issues, and they just threw like a bunch of like benefit shows, did some raffles, did some house shows, and like the whole community was coming together to like help him in his help him like cover his medical expenses, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that
And
is
same thing
phenomenal
like when
work.
we had like the our scene bully punched some kid in the face and cracked his jaw. That was actually my last show. Was we all came together, or I don't know, it was the second to last show. We all came together to like throw a benefit show,
Yeah,
so that we could help him cover his medical expenses. You know what I mean? Like,
and that right there is just great.
it's community
I
driven.
love it. I actually have good friends that are part of the scene in Lubbock. They're the rap group, Headshot Gang,
Oh yeah.
and it's Creature of the Night, who is from Amarillo.
So he moved to Lubbock.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Lubbock, because
I'm
him
not
and
gonna lie, Creature of the Night was like one of my favorite. Whenever the very
Yeah.
first show that I played, I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome, because it wasn't like anything that you see here.
yeah,
I feel like it was super niche, but at the same time, it was like not. Some people can do like rap metal bad, poorly. He didn't.
no,
He's good.
oh yeah,
It was
Creature,
really cool.
yeah,
It
Creature's
was
really
rad.
good. And so, but it's like I'm good friends with Creature,
Mhm.
and I'm good friends with his other buddy. So they're a duo group, but it's O'Neal to MC.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't for O'Neal to MC, I never would have met the guys in Toxic Menace.
Yeah.
Now I'm not real good friends with the guys at Toxic Menace. I'd love to become great friends with them because I have a Toxic Menace shirt in there because it's so they were so cool when I seen them because it was different than what I was seeing here in Amarillo.
Exactly.
And so it was just like, yes, like I was all in 100%. But it's like, I talked to my homies Headshot Gang, which is Creature of the Night and O'Neal the MC, pretty frequently. I talk to them a lot,
Mhm.
I've told them because it's like with this banner being a multi-purpose, like you seen earlier, I had a TV
Mhm.
right there. I do it because like I invited them to the WWE 2K tournaments, which you can show up to because when we do those tournaments, we grill out. So it's just you don't have to participate. You don't have to participate in the tournament, but we grill. We sit out here in the garage and grill. I'll cook. I personally love grilling. I love to grill. I grilled on my birthday. I didn't let anyone else cook on my birthday. It's like, yo, it's my birthday. Let me cook. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've had, I think the last 2 birthdays that we did here is I invited like everybody came over and I'm at the grill.
yeah,
It's like it's your birthday, right? Yeah.
yeah.
What
But
are
it's
you
just like listen, man. It's my birthday, but I love grilling.
Yeah.
So, but it's like you're more than welcome to come when we do these 2K nights. Come just hang out, drink, and because it's like I want to make this grow to the fact where like maybe one day I could rent a venue and host like a real big tournament. But it's like it's just the one big get together of just homies and just friends and stuff.
I have an office over off of it's right by 6 years off 3rd, 202 South Louisiana, and we have a giant projector.
Right. So
and I also have a backyard, and it's a multi-purpose place. I rent an office there, but we have free reign because since I am a tenant, we have a full kitchen. We have a backyard where everybody can hang out, and we could rent it out. It's open, so we could do a private event, and I'm talking like giant projector, which we could do. Let's try to get some set up.
One big 2K tournament.
Yes, that would be rad.
And it could be any. It could be any like I say 2K, but I'm talking about WWE because I'm a big wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play any other sports game other than hockey. I like hockey.
I don't watch a lot of sports. I'll watch combat sports, but that's about it. I never could get into it. I just couldn't. Like, I don't like football. I don't like basketball. When I was younger, I liked watching baseball, but I don't even know why. It's so fucking boring. Hockey is I think hockey's awesome because it's like a fist fight on ice.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But combat sports, most stuff I don't really listen. I don't watch sports. I just can't get into it.
I'll say like pro wrestling. I'm gonna say pro wrestling is a combat sport.
It is.
I mean,
entertainment.
It is, but it's mostly entertainment. At the end of the day, it's mostly entertainment. But like, if you were to go back,
the athleticism, though.
Yeah, the athleticism. It's there. People call it. Sorry, people call it fake wrestling, but those dudes and women, those males and females, are putting their bodies on the line to do, you know what I mean, like
Wild
those
shit.
backflips and the front flips off the top rope, or it's still like one wrong move and you fuck up and break your neck, and then your wrestling career is done. What you built, what you worked so hard for, is taken away. Like,
Yeah.
But but it's like, that's why I like the fact of like this 2K tournament, because I know like the wrestling community here in Amarillo is getting pretty big, but it's like the fans of the wrestling community here, that's why like I started throwing those 2K tournaments.
That's good. That's a good. I mean, I think like the bar fights are awesome, and then how they were incorporating bands. That's a perfect marriage of just two separate things, which is really cool. You have the wrestling aspect, because Amarillo's actually, they produce a lot of really good wrestlers.
Yeah.
Terry Funk,
all the Funks, Dory Funk, Terry Funk, their dad. It was like Dory Jr. and Dory. Then it's like you had the Young Bloods here.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a bunch of like trainers who have came through here. I'm not real like, I don't
even
really
collegiate style wrestling.
Oh yeah,
like Amarillo is a real what was the guy's name? Evan Tanner was from here. He was like a UFC guy.
Yeah,
and then you had the guy that won gold. He graduated from Tascosa. Brandon Slay.
Yeah, I remember Brandon Slay.
And so like it's a wrestling. Just honestly, like we're in such like it's so
like a unique culture.
I mean, I wrestled throughout my child, and then we have the shoot fights. Like my uncle David Elizalde, he was the lightweight champion of the world at the USWF, then Evan Tanner was the heavyweight champion, and so like that was all like proto UFC.
Yeah,
but I mean, we have like a rich history here.
It's like back in the day, Amarillo was a big territory, and so in like professional wrestling before, so it's like everyone says that Vince McMahon killed the territories.
Near fall, I mean,
near falls here.
Like, you know what I mean?
I honestly, I have near fall clothing and hats because me being a big wrestling fan. But it's like I was saying though, Amarillo was a territory at one point in time before Vince McMahon came in and started buying up wrestlers from territories. Right. But like WWE or not WWE, Amarillo was a big territory. Like the NWA came through here, the National Wrestling Association. They did all their stuff through top of Texas at one point in time. Title matches and just big wrestlers and stuff came through Amarillo because of this here was a territory.
One of the things that I think that I see some of the online feuds. There's the Pierce Price, and then there's the other gentleman, Daniel. I can't remember.
That's my trainer.
So I think that there's a lot of potential because of the rivalry that they have for them to have a working relationship that can kind of transcend just the bullshit, which I feel like there's a lot of it. Because I'm on the outside looking in. I'm like, if they could just talk to each other and maybe say like, you know what, let's take what we're doing, run with it, and build. I think that there'd be a lot of shit that would just be amazing. There'd be a lot of shit that could just happen here, and it would open that back up. Like one of my good friends, Caleb, who Hobo.
Yep, I've had him on the podcast.
That's awesome. I grew up when I was like 15, 16 years old. Caleb was a little bit older than me, and he was like, I would see him at punk rock shows, and then he kind of disappeared, and then he was like into ICP, and then I was like, oh, that's cool, and then it kind of introduced me to like that stuff. Like there's a lot of people here in town that are just doing awesome shit, like Zach, DB. Yeah. Like it's just the potential here, like doesn't just stop at music. It doesn't just stop at art. It's all performance stuff. It's all performance related. And even like on the athleticism aspect of it, like Zach is my height. But whenever I see him like wrestling, I'm like, this motherfucker's like 7 feet tall. Yeah. Just because it's larger than life stuff. Like even Caleb's like almost 7 foot. But when you see him, it's like this 10-foot tall man is about to get punched right in the face. Like it's so crazy. And the brutality that you see at the bar fights, it's wild. Oh yeah. It's so wild. I want to take my kids to see it, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit too brutal for the bar fights. But, I haven't had a chance to see one at the WrestlePlex, but I think I don't even know if it's still going. To be honest.
I'm not 100% sure if it's still around here.
Fucked up.
But there's another wrestling promotion here called Nacho Daddy's Wrestling.
Hell yeah.
Nacho Daddy. But I think they do a lot of stuff at the Starlight Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm gonna tell you a quick little story. I was actually training under Daniel King in the bar fights. So Daniel owns the bar fights, which shout out to Handgun Dan. I've learned a lot from him. He's a great dude. You know, I personally, he's one of my good friends to this day. Every time we talk wrestling, I appreciate the knowledge that he gives me. And so I was actually training under him to become a professional wrestler, but I got injured. And then injury led to something else, and to where like I've been out of wrestling, like training wise, but like as a fan. So I generally stick to as a fan, I watch. So I'm not like necessarily an outsider, but I'm a big wrestling fan and I watch in. But like I still talk to my buddy Dan every now and then to this day, and we, you know, goes there. But it's like he's got a bunch of good shit coming. It's like this next weekend he has a 2-day Death Fest. And it's called,
is that the dude?
Yeah,
the
and
promotion and the graphics for that, like the like fuck the bullshit. Like I'm not gonna lie. Every single time I would see promotional stuff, I was like, "Who fucking designed this?"
Yep.
You know. But now it's like, okay, they upped their visibility is what I would say.
Yeah.
And like to me, I'm someone that's like really super visual. Like if something is like visually appealing, I'm like, oh shit, that looks appealing.
Yeah.
But you know, if you have like grainy, pixelated promotional like items, I'm gonna be like, oh wow, this is gonna be a poor production.
Yeah.
You know, I know that sounds crappy, but this is the age that we live in.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like
and
you see a good picture, you're like, okay, that's gonna be the shit right
even
there.
if the show is mediocre, if the promotional aspect of it and like the actual visibility of it is like top notch, people are going to show up, you know. And I'm a firm believer in that. If you have a flyer for a show and it literally looks like it fell out of a 4-year-old's like drawing, I'm not talking shit on the 4-year-olds out there, but that's not going to appeal to someone that wants to see something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I'm with you there.
I'm absolutely like 100%. Like things have to be like visually appealing for you to want to do that. You know. I mean, even some of like the minimalist designs that you'll see, it's still appealing. Like there's something about it, you know. And so that's one thing that I can say. Like the all of the promo photos that I saw, like BB was on one. You know, I saw Caleb was on one. Flea, Ish, or Trash.
Yeah, I know Flea.
I know him as Trash from like being 14
back in the day.
Oh my god, yeah. And so like. I mean, you know, that guy's like still going strong. He has kids that are teenagers now. You know what I mean? Like that guy is rad as hell. And he's got his toy business. They actually just started a punk rock band called what the fuck is it called? I think it's called Social Anxiety, a street punk band. I can't wait to see what they do because dude, he used to have like a bunch of like whenever I had a venue called the Deli, we'd have like punk rock bands that come through, and his band would come in. I think they were living in New Mexico at the time, either Raton or somewhere around there. But they would come in and they would play. And then when we had the venue at the basement, like he would come with his band. It just those guys were. Flea's always. He's just a punk rock kid.
Through and through.
Yeah.
I've actually some of my action figures that I have that I bought are from Flea. Oh, Three Amigos, we actually interviewed Flea.
Yeah.
I think once or twice. Twice. We've interviewed Flea. Flea's a good friend of mine, but it's like I'm a good friends with his good buddy Violent V.
Mm-hmm.
He's on one of the. He's actually a part of the death match because it's a 2-day event. I think of it this way: it's like 2-day event at Bliss 66 death match. It's called the Death Match Invitational.
See, that's pretty fucking cool because Bliss is like right there at the crossroads.
Yeah,
the old Georgia,
the old EBGBs.
Yeah, that's what I knew it as. And then it became was it Leftwoods?
Yeah, Leftwoods.
I mean, that's awesome because, and that to me, like that kind of that says a lot to people knowing their location and also the history of the places that they occupy. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like I don't know who owns Bliss 66, but. I mean, like, shout out to them for fucking at least keeping the integrity of the location alive. Right?
Yeah.
You know, that's so cool. What question are we on? 2?
Yeah. Honestly, man, at this point in time, like, question-wise, it's just because, so it's like this way. The show starts at 7.
Does it?
What the number?
6 o'clock right now.
Wasn't is that
I'm
my
getting notifications from the chat saying, "Come to the show." So
was it 7?
I'm not sure. It says yes. Doors are at 7. Show starts at 7:30. Again, it's $10. It's at 3701 South Plains Boulevard, the Sunset Underground. You've got 4 bands: In Your Grave, Grey Glow, World War, and Death Warrant or Birth Warrant. I can't tell.
Death or birth.
Yes.
So the reason why I say that is it's already 6 o'clock. We're sitting at an hour and 35 minutes. Now, I can go a little bit longer with you if you'd like to, or if you want, you can come back for a part 2. Because I know the show starts. I know the doors open at 7.
Yeah.
And so I know you got to get. I know because I'm gonna go to that show. I don't care what anyone says. I'm
Yeah.
going because it's Saturday night and I have nothing else to do tonight. So how about this? We can cut it here and let people know that there is a part 2 with Gabriel Spencer, or we can keep going for just a little bit longer. What do you feel?
I say we just cut it right now,
Okay.
so we can go. Because I want to get back. I told my wife this is what we're going to be doing for the evening. She's like, okay. So she texted me, said she's getting ready.
Okay.
And I think we might bring the boys out.
Oh, yeah.
Just to let them experience it. You know what I mean?
Is it still BYOB?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is BYOB. I don't think that they'll ever be able to actually have a liquor license here, just due to like the nonprofit aspect of the organization.
Okay.
But yeah, I think.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in to Pacos Chingasos. I always want to say Three Amigos, but thank you to everyone who's tuned in to the Pacos Chingasos podcast. We are going to cut it right here, but I promise you, if you've enjoyed this podcast with Gabriel Spencer, I promise you there will maybe be a part. No, there's not even a maybe. There will be a part 2. There'll probably even be a part 3.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking with this guy so much. We will definitely have a part 2 and a part 3. So thank you to tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed, and comment. Always be on the lookout because I may have a new episode around the corner. And yes, like I said, thank you again, Gabriel. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I enjoy, man. This has been
Cheers.
so great.
Yeah.
And cheers to you. We are drinking. Shout out to Hulk Hogan. We're drinking real American beer, and yeah,
Proudly
thank you.
Serving the real American spirit.
Yeah, probably serving the real American spirit, real American beer. And so, like I said, thank y'all for tuning in to Pacos Chingasos, and I will see you next time.